How you doing, folks? This is Kicking It Live with BCW. Today we have a good friend, our BD Cruz. Along with BD Cruz, we have Jay Royce. We're here again live behind. We are through Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. We're platforming it today all throughout the platforms. So I know that we're live, and if there's any chats, if they get on, then if they ask any questions, then I'll let you guys know, so you can answer the questions if they want to answer anything. So once we're gonna live, we're kicking it live. I mean, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, thank you. Jay Royce, how you doing over there?
Doing pretty good. That just got announced. Crowning.
So BD Cruz, we welcome you. We welcome you. I mean, it's been a little while that we last seen each other. It was our first show, April 9th. But I want to talk to the people how we know each other for a little bit. I mean, not like personally, but for the time that we actually spoke was on April 9th, the dawn of a new era. I mean, that was awesome to see you there, and we appreciate you supporting us and being with us, and we appreciate you. But before that, we've known you from another association, and I got to speak to you here and there. It wasn't really much like we're doing now, but I mean, we appreciate you anyways. You know what I mean?
Nah, thank you for that appreciation. And meeting you was great. And seeing where we're going to go in the future, there's only good things going forward.
Yes, of course. I know that Jordan has a little bit more experience with you.
A bit more. I guess.
The first people I met, started. Honestly, he's one of the most down. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you for that.
So tell me about your little. Tell the people about yourself a little bit more. How you got into wrestling and.
I mean, I started training in 2014 with the Amazing Red, and wrestling has always been a passion of mine ever since I saw it as a kid. I fell in love with it. It's one of the few things my dad can actually have a sit down chat with me without it being weird or whatever. And that's one of the few things we have in common. So it constantly grew from there. And then I remember I got in college, I had like a little backyard shoot match, and everyone loved it, and everyone told me I should go for it. I happened to meet one of the students from the House of Glory training school on the bus that day, and they pointed me to where I had to go. I said, you know what, screw it, let me try it. And ever since, I've been doing it since 2014.
The hardest part for you, getting into the biggest things for you, like hurdles for you to jump over and everything.
The hardest part I think was starting at the age that I did. A lot of guys now are starting younger, 15, 16, 17. I started in my mid 20s, and it felt a little weird at times because I was one of the older guys, even though I don't look it. And trying to think, can I hang with these, younger guys who are, 10 years or so younger than me? But I'm somebody that once I started, I got used to it really fast, and things started happening quick for me. I didn't need a long learning curve to catch everything on. I'm a very visual person. Once I see it, I can do it, and nothing hasn't been really holding me back. So once I saw that I could hang and I could do it very well, sky was the limit.
I mean, that's
House of
awesome.
Glory is one of the spots I wanted to. How does that work? Much for it, and then you pay to do like a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, with any school, I believe it's sort of the same thing, but with them, their methods have changed over the years. So you could pay monthly or a whole year fee, and you go as well as you please. But I was paying on a month by month basis, and it gave me access to the ring and the training about 4 days a week. And then the longer you're there, the easier like pricing and everything else you will get there. But yeah, it was just it started off that small, but once you got really good in the ring and you got accustomed to everything, And there was times where we had the school open 24 hours for us, and we just go nuts. And when you have that ability to learn at whatever time you can, because people work and stuff like that, but with the gym open and the trainers that cool with you, it gives you more of a way to learn wrestling, and then you're surrounded by other people who have that same passion. So you're just learning from each other, learning from the coaches, and you develop a connection in that ring that most people don't get.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, our show, my dad, just like you, we have that in common. Where it was my dad, it was because my dad I got into the business. I wanted to start wrestling, but I wasn't able to because of my conditions, whatnot. But I mean, knock on wood, my doctors already gave me the clearance and all that, so I'm happy. So who knows? I might be like Vince McMahon, getting into the ring, getting knocked around a couple of times, but that's all good and dandy. But it was because my father, no, we got that in common. My dad was actually there at the show
Mm.
at Don Lunera, and he said, "Yo, he knows you by the big teddy bear because of your by your gear." And he said, "Yo, that big teddy bear when he did that moonsault, that drove me crazy." He's like, "That drove me." He said, "It drove me bonkers." That's his exact words.
I mean,
But
that stands me out because a guy my size, I'm currently 360. I shouldn't be back flipping, front flipping, and I can do the lucha things. I don't know how. I have very good body control. That's why I'm able to do it. But that I believe helps me stand out from the rest. So to hear that from your dad, I just laugh because I'm not supposed to be doing it, but I do it anyway.
that's all he did. That's all he spoke about. He spoke about two things throughout the entire show: was you doing that backflip and knowing you as a big teddy bear because of your gear, and one of other talents. Jimmy's was so yeah, it was Sunset and Jiggy. That's all. Like the entire 2 weeks, that's all I heard was from y'all three, from my dad. So yeah, it did something to my dad where he wants to see y'all again. Though I mean, it was great, but I mean, it's like seeing you, like you stated, being a bigger guy, being able to do that. It reminds me of uh, Bam Bam.
Mm. I get that comparison a lot. I get Bam Bam. I get uh who else? Terry Gordy. Um, guys who were flying that shouldn't be flying, and they're also hard hitting. So you don't know what direction that the pain is going to come. But I can either ground and pound you and beat you down, or I mean, you don't really want to be on the receiving end of me splashing you, from 10 feet or whatever.
Especially that lariat, my brother.
What inspired you to start using the lariat for your finisher?
um, it was by accident because I have my other finisher, the cruise missile. Um, it's visually dangerous. It's visually bad. So after a while of me doing it, my trainer was like, "Look, why don't we save that move for special occasions? Because if someone's going to get hit with that, the match is over. So why don't we give a finisher where you can hit on anybody, and that looks just as strong?" And then we had a training match, and I just threw it at one of my opponents, and I didn't intend it to be that hard, but it just came out that way. And then everybody jumped up, was like, "Holy shit!" So he pulled me to the side. He goes, "That's going to be your main finisher for now on. You do that because I have an old school soul. So guys like Stan Hansen, who throws the lariat without no care, it brought him back to that because I have a Japanese side of me also. So when he compared me to Stan Hansen and JBL throwing the clothesline from hell, the big lariat, I was like, you know what, I'm cool with that. And I let guys know it's coming. If you're not ready for it, it's gonna hurt. So I've been doing that ever since, and I get just as big a reaction from that. If I do that with the cruise missile also.
But what's the official name for the lariat? You have an official name?
The kiss goodnight.
Now we know the kiss goodnight. Now you know if everybody get
Watching a couple,
hit, we'll be kissing them goodnight.
That's it.
watch a
Bad.
couple of the
That-
matches from the tournament where you hit it. Yeah, you lay that in, and it looks
oh
good.
yeah. you know that's something where with my size, it has to be put in that way because it's not going to be believable. So I throw everything into it. However it turns out, however it turns out.
Was we're gonna go back a little bit. I know you stated that you're about your dad and all that, but what was there a specific match that you saw, or there was something that you saw and a gimmick, or who was your favorite wrestler that really got you like, hey, this is who I really want to portray, or this is who I really want to be, in a sense, and that's what got you into to wrestling because of this specific moment.
Um, I mean, growing up, my main favorites were Shawn Michaels and Sting. Those were the main guys. But when I saw Undertaker, I was like, oh man, he captivated me. Then I was introduced to the Japanese part of wrestling. So Misawa, was one of the guys that also caught my attention. But mainly it was Shawn and Sting that, you know what, that hooked me. And Shawn was the reason why I grew my hair out. So I was like, he gets all the girls and he's a badass. I like that guy. And then I've been doing a version of that ever since.
Is he the
That's cool,
is
brother.
he in your like top spot, the greatest of all time? Like, what's your Mount
Yeah,
Rushmore?
my route much for Sean, Eddie, um, Savage, and Flair.
That's cool. One of my favorite. I know this is so controversial. I mean, every time I say it, they look at me wrong. But you can't take nothing away from this guy in the ring. Outside of the ring, we all know. You already know what I'm talking about because it's so controversial. Outside of the ring, we all know what he did. But I
Mm.
mean, you can't take nothing away from that guy in the ring. Yeah, I'm talking about Benoit.
Mm. With Benoit, no, I agree. You can't take away what he did in the ring. What he did on the outside, the ending, I get it is controversial. People feel some type of way, but the work that he put in and all the years of dedication that he put in, you can't erase that. He was a phenomenal athlete and a definition of um having the guts and making wrestling feel just as important because he took it just as serious. And you knew when he was in the ring, it was go time.
That's what I say. In the ring, you can't take nothing away from him. But outside the ring, we all know that's the story. As the man inside the ring. I mean, yeah, he's the man in that part. He made it look really intensive, like really aggressive, and he was one of the safest wrestlers out there at that time. And that's what I like enjoyed about him in the ring. Just
Mm,
like Eddie, those moments in Eddie where you could feel that intensity in him doing the Three Amigos or the splash, and there were certain things that he was doing that he could feel the intensity of those moves, and like really you can't feel that anymore in these times. That's for me though. You know what I mean? Behind the screen, like going from the TV out here, there's certain moments that you could really feel it. Like sometimes when Goldberg does his spear, and you
mm,
could, oh damn, that really hurts. But
mm.
there's other stuff that they've been playing around too much, where it just takes out the significance of each of the moves. Well, that's my thinking. And
No, most,
just like
most
when just JBO did the lariat, and it was like there's some moments that he did like, damn, he's like that really hurt.
mm. For whatever reason, whatever. Yeah, JBL would lay it in, but that's just JBL. That's just how he is. And I've read a couple of interviews and stuff like that with Chris. He wanted you to believe everything was going on in the ring. With Eddie, he just made you feel whether he was a good guy, bad guy, playing a joke, being dead serious. No matter what the moves was, he made you have some type of emotion, and he had that connection with people that you just don't get nowadays.
And you kind of
In the
you have that
moment, he
same
made you
feeling though.
feel like it.
I agree. I do. My every time I go into the ring, I want people to feel something. Whether um, you're happy to see me, you're booing me, but there's times where I mean, you've seen it where I'm getting booed at first, but at some point the fans start cheering me anyway. Whether that makes me a good wrestler or a bad heel, um, I always want the fans to feel something. I recently came back from Chicago with a debut, and new place, new city, no one knows me. So I have to get the fans hooked in the first 15 seconds that they see me. And once I got into the ring and did my little dance with the roses, I hooked them just like that. And they were with me the whole time. So it's all about creating moments and experiences.
Yeah, man. I saw your matches in AEW. I know there was some matches and I was like I know it had must have been a different vibe up in there, up and down south on that crew. How did it feel being being shown on Dark and being on TV?
Well, the experience was everything. There was actually a miscue which got me on Dynamite, which was it was funny because I was supposed to have a match that night, the first week of Dynamite because I was there for 10 days, and the people who make the matches they somehow forgot about me because I was connected with another wrestler who couldn't make it, so they thought we both wasn't making it, so they took me off. But when I showed up, they was like, "Oh damn." But then it was Nick Jackson who found out, and he was like, "You know what? Let's do something. This kid made the trip. Let's make it worth his while." And then they put me on Dynamite. So then the following week, I had the match, and that day was crazy because I was originally supposed to fight Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. It got changed at the last minute to the Gun Club, and in a way, it kind of worked out because I'm in the ring with Billy Gunn, and it was awesome. It was an awesome feeling. The feeling of just being there, feeling like I belong. The entire AEW crew made me feel wanted. They didn't make me feel any type of way. They knew I was there to do a job, and it was just do it the best way I could. Naturally, you want it to go perfectly. There's one or two things I could have done differently, but all in all, it was an amazing experience. I hit the lariat. Um, and it was funny because he goes, "Yeah, just do something quick." I was like, "Do Larry?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah, do it." And deep down, I'm smiling inside. I go, "They don't have no idea what's coming." Then when I hit Austin Gunn, I got the reaction from everybody because even Billy saw it, and Billy was like, "Oh shit!" So it was good. I left my mark. It was pretty good, and I just hope to go back soon.
I hope you do
Assuming
go
that
back.
was
I
one
want
of
to see.
the most
Sure.
nerve wracking moments you've had so far wrestling, I assume AEW was one.
Yeah, AW's one because you just want everything to be perfect. You don't know,
Yeah.
and you can't screw up. So that was nerve wracking. Other than that, my very first match, I was only 3 months in, and they threw me out there. I wasn't sure about anything, and I was in there with someone who's also was his first match. But because I had you could tell that I'm the more mature one out of the two of us. It was on my shoulders to put it together, and it turned out great. But it was still nerve wracking because I wasn't sure how to act. I wasn't sure how to go about things. So when I was done with that, the weight of the world was over. Um, Other than that, when I go to new places, if I go to a new city and for a new company, I get the nerves that I have to stand out. I have to do something good for them to remember me. So those are the main points where I couldn't relax. I was nervous to make sure I have a very good performance. I'm not a perfectionist, but I don't like when things go wrong because I feel that's a reflection on me. So you know those are the ones that really stood out to where if things go wrong, I was going to hate myself. But they all turned out pretty good.
Yeah, man. It's has to be interesting, especially now that you like the storytelling. We have to bring that back nowadays, and I see that sometimes you like to bring that in your matches. It's like, what do you think about all the storytelling and the difference that it makes in the matches if you don't do the storytelling?
No, that's the whole thing. I've seen a ton of matches where things don't make sense. Um, there's no continuity to what's going on, what's being told. You can't even tell who's good or bad sometimes. So the way I was trained and the way I was brought into it, everything has a meaning. So if I'm taking on someone smaller than me, I have to make that make sense. The rare times where I'm taking on someone bigger than me, I have to take that into into effect and be able to get the fans invested in some type of way. Everything has to make sense. People need to sit when they sit down and watch what's going on in front of them. They need to consciously know what's being told. Big guy, small guy, two big guys, good guy, bad guy. People need to connect the dots as the match is going on. Because if you have people thinking what's going on most of the match, they're not going to get into it because they'll be questioning everything. So you have to have some type of continuity going into it and making sure that everybody in the room is on the same page.
How do you deal with the stresses in the ring? Sometimes we all know, like you said, there could be mistakes in the ring, but you can't really let the people tell. You can't really let the people know that there is mistakes. How can you play it off in a sense in the ring?
Um, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was bad at that because when something would go wrong, you could see it in my face because I would be visually pissed off, and I would take it out on the opponent in the ring to where like what the hell. I've gotten better with it, and it's if something doesn't go exactly right, you got to flow with it correctly. You cannot let it out that all right, that wasn't supposed to happen. Um, if you're supposed to hit a move and it doesn't connect, go right into something else. If somebody's in the wrong spot or someone is late with timing, you have to be able to pick it up and wait till whatever is supposed to happen next. A lot of guys don't do that. A lot of guys get nervous, or when you see someone botching the ring and then they retry that same move, big mistake. Because then you just let the world know something didn't go right, and you're trying to cover it up, or you're doing the steps in your head. No, 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 no. You have to be able to go with the flow and think of it as as everything is. This is a fight. So if something goes right, you're not going to go for it again. You got to either switch it up or do something different. So it's all about being in the moment, but you're not going to really know that until it happens to you. Like I said, I was notoriously bad, but as things happen, you get better at handling it and taking it to the next part and showing that you're a ring general if something happens like that. Where if you can still take control, when something doesn't go exactly right, at least you can fix it.
Yeah, it's something that's something that because you could definitely tell a lot of wrestlers that they get frustrated in the ring when something goes wrong, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when you could tell that, oh damn, this wasn't really supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And what will you tell? Like I know you said a couple of things, but what will you say something like something to Jordan? It could happen anytime. We're not professionals and we're not all perform. We all tend to make do mistakes, but someone like us, like what will you tell them?
What as it's going on or backstage or whatever the case may be.
However, yeah,
Well,
there's moments that we tend to slip up, and as like a ring general of some sort, because even in the back, they'll look up to you because at Down on New Era, they're all looking up to you in a sense, and you kind of felt that you were the leader in the back as well. So how would you take
uh,
advantage of that?
no, I mean I felt that in a way, and it's like I'm someone who's humble. Like I don't take on that role, but once I feel it, I do it. But if I see like that happens to Jordan or somebody, I'll pull them to the side personally, explain what happened, why this is how what happened, and explain. No, this was supposed to happen. You got to do this. You got to do that, and to relax. Don't beat yourself up. Don't put the weight on the world on your shoulders because crap happens. But whoever's in that role, if it's we're talking about me, that's when you see it and you got to talk to the person because I know I would benefit if that happened to me, which it has happened to before, where you get a stern talking to, but not talking down to you, but talking with you, like next time do this, next time do that. Don't overwhelm yourself, and it's okay if it happens. Just go with the flow, and you know next time you're gonna have a better match. Next time you're gonna do better, but just be aware that these things can happen, and this is how you should react.
How do you break, like when you have a match, getting ready to do it? Do you break down ahead of time, or do you like have a way where you've talked about it? Like, how do you go about it?
Um, when it comes to that, I try to break everything down in steps to where this is the beginning. We'll go over the middle, and depending on what the ending is, I can work around it. I'm someone that once I get the ending, I work backwards. So, if the ending is whatever the ending is going to be, then we can work around. All right, we're going to get from point A to point B this way. We're going to get from point B to point C this way. And I'll ask your opinion. If it makes sense, cool. If not, I'll give you alternate ideas of what to do. And with someone like me, a lot of people can't do a lot of their moves to me because of my size. So I help them coming up with ways to get around that, so where we can still have an effective match, even though you know you have this crazy move. You can't do it, but I'll give you something to where you know this would make sense. This would make sense in a better way. Or I make sure in every match there's at least 1 point or 1 or 2 points where we get the crowd. We suck them in with an exciting moment, whether it be a crazy bump or a crazy sequence. And as long as the communication is there, and um, we both feel confident we can do it, then the whole match comes together. When I do it, it's story based. Make sure everything makes sense, and have the moments that's going to get the crowd up and down. It's always a roller coaster. You got to go up to go down, and once we figure it out to where we're both comfortable, most of the time we're going to have that solid match.
That's cool. That's really cool, my brother. And what would be jumping out of that? What would be your dream match? Like anybody, any wrestler, being Japan, anybody. Who do you see yourself as your dream match?
Oh man, right now I would love to take on Jericho, uh, and Okada. Those are my two main matches that I would love to have. Other than that, I mean, I I wouldn't mind taking on Kenny Omega also, but Okada and Jericho are the two guys that I want to tangle with.
How about Samoa Joe?
Um, no, I'll me and Joe would be an awesome match. Especially, and I've been watching his Ring of Honor stuff, and he's just amazing because I feel we're somewhat similar, but he's strangely athletic. And I actually had a sit down talk with him too. Um, I would love to take on Joe. That would, yeah, I would love to take on Joe. Other than Joe, is someone just popped into mind. Probably. Also, I was a big fan of Roderick Strong. I could take on Roderick Strong. Um, I'm trying to think who else. But oh, and someone brought to my attention that they wanted to see me versus Jacob Fatu because he's a big, wild, high flying Samoan, and we have similar styles, so it would be fun to take on Jacob Fatu.
Most Samoans have that hard hit. That would
Oh, absolutely.
definitely be good. I love.
And people, when I first started, people confused me for Samoan anyway. So I instead of changing the mind, I was like, yeah, I'm Samoan. But yeah, all the Samoans are wild boys, and to take on Jacob would be an amazing match, amazing dream. That might happen actually, so I'm kind of crossing my fingers, hoping that does happen.
Well, if it does happen, let me know when, my brother.
So, absolutely.
You traveled for a match so far?
Like I said, I just came back from Chicago. That was a whole trip. I'm going to Colorado next month, I believe. I'm trying to think where else, and Texas. So I'm trying to travel more away from the East Coast, and I want to go west and everything else. So the whole goal for the next year or so is to go out way out of further states.
Okay. Is it with reality
Yeah.
or a different company for the Texas?
No, it's all different companies. Yeah. I forgot the name of it. No, but I want to do reality because if I could be booked, that'd be great. I think me and Booker T have a nice little talk. But yeah, it's just finding different companies out there that, especially if I know that certain of my friends have gone to, I know I have somewhat of a connection to try to get into. So
Yeah.
there's a few places I want to hit. Like I want to go to Ohio. I want to go to Tennessee. Someone from Tennessee reached out to me, so I'm trying to get out there more and more and stay away from the local scene. And if I can get my face out into the West, then it can only benefit me.
Has everything popped for you since they last saw you on AEW? That's when it made it easier for you to get out towards West.
A little bit. So a few people know me from that, but it's just like word of mouth. Mostly that's getting me around certain places. There's people who said they see me that I didn't even realize was watching me. Like I had a guy from Tennessee reach out to me saying that they want me in Tennessee because they seen some of my stuff, and I'm just blown away that my stuff could reach that far. I'm also looking into doing some more like promotional videos, and storytelling videos that hopefully are coming out soon. That if it hits big, it'll start on Instagram, Facebook, and if it gets to the Twitterverse, which is where a lot of the big things happen. I'm hoping that helps me out too because I've seen a few things where people are getting certain attention based on character work because of these little videos that they're doing. So I'm gonna try my hand on it to see if it works out in my favor.
We might help us nowadays because like generation that can do it. So there's no. So it's a great idea to do it.
Sweet. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Um, Always with the right production and if you have the right story being told, like I would say the best user of these videos is Charles Mason, who he comes off like the American Psycho. He's a psychopath, and the videos that he's putting out are absolutely amazing. So that was an inspiration for me to see if done right, how far can it reach.
It definitely could reach out far. Who knows? You might even go out to Japan one of these days, and I'll love to see you over there. And who knows? You get to be able to have your dream matches, and if you keep moving it forward, I mean, it's been an honor to have you with us at BCW, and you're being the leader in a sense in the ring and outside of the ring, and our wrestlers are looking up to you. You know what I mean? I mean, it'll be great. It'll be awesome to know that at least somebody from our area, has gone that big because there hasn't really been somebody that big like before in these times, other than the ones we know on AEW. But like they're really out, like they really put themselves out there. We know about the Jerichos, we know about the Rocks, and we know about that. But in this time, there isn't really nobody that's really coming out that far. I think that's my opinion. I don't know about what's your opinion about that, but what do you think about all that?
Um, no, well, being like again, I being where I'm at, I know a few friends who've gotten amazing opportunities, in a lot of these places to break out. There's not. It takes a lot nowadays to, you have to go viral or you have to show them doing something like the guy right now in the AEW, the pizza guy, Luigi. One little viral video went out and bam, he's on TV. So it's luck of the draw, right place, right time, the right person sharing the right stuff. Um, it's not as common now, especially with guys in our area to make it big somewhere else. But I know a lot of people who've had the opportunity, so I'm just trying to get to the point where I get those same opportunities to where not only for the big companies, but like you said, I want to go to Japan. I want to do a tour of Japan. Um, and however, it's a lot of things on social media. As much as I wish it wasn't, but that's why I want to travel more to get out, so my name could be known. At least these companies in these areas will get to know my name, to where, all right, this guy is going to all these places, and the different places that you go, that's more stuff for like YouTube, or if people just want to watch a match. And the more places you're at, the more exposure you're going to get. So it's harder now. It's harder and easier because social media, a couple button clicks, and you're a sensation. But it's to be able to get that way. That's the hard part. So all about trial and error and luck of the draw. But the goal is to get out and let's see if that splash could be made.
Yeah, man. We hope you're the best, man. I wish it all turns out well for you. But especially, we always love to have you here in our area because we see that greatness in you, and I mean, it's gonna be fabulous seeing you out there and winning those championships for the bigger companies. And you know that you're coming from this area with Eastern Mass. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The Eastern area, the East Coast, and it'll be great to see that. And because it's been a little while since anybody from this area has gotten anything major in a sense.
Hmm.
But I mean, what is your next moves? What is your next matches? You know, anything else coming up?
I took the September off because I was coming off a concussion, um, and some other ailments. So I've been taking this month off just to relax my body and get back to 100%. But I should have some few things coming up late October. Got things in November and December. So it's just this is the first time in a while that I'm taking 30 days or so to myself to recover, relax, not worry about anything, so I can get back to being 100%.
What will you say to the new upcomers, the ones that are coming up now that see you? What will you tell them? Like, what advice would you give them?
Pay attention. If someone's teaching you something, shut up and pay attention. Learn to learn visually, learn to learn physically. Um, have fun. If you're not having fun, just think about what you're doing. Um, make an impact, but don't be dangerous. And don't be afraid to ask questions. There's guys like me that if you have an issue or want to know anything, I'm not hard to talk to. Just get my attention. You want to put me to the side, put me to the side, and let's chat. Never be afraid to ask for help. So there's surprisingly a lot of guys that have that willingness to help and explain things and not make you feel alone. They say wrestling is not meant to have friends because everybody's gonna backstab you. But I've made a lot of personal friends in this business, and we all help each other out. We all critique each other, whether it be funny or not, or the tough truth. But know your surroundings, know the people that you hang out with, and just love what you're doing. If you don't love it or you don't want to learn, it's not for you. Do something else. But if all else, just ask questions and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. You're going to fail at a lot of things. You may not be able to do proper roles. You may not be able to do promos, but everything is succession. Succession. You got to keep trying, keep trying. Don't get discouraged when something doesn't go right. And just keep at it and find the people who are going to support you. People are going to pull you down, make fun of you. Find some other people to hang out with. The faster you do that, the more fun you're going to have, and that love is going to get there. Other than that, just sit back, watch, and enjoy what you're doing. You do that, wrestling is a great thing.
Definitely, wrestling is a great thing, and we learn in every situation. Even in my point, and like where I'm standing at within BCW, I am still learning. We still learn every single day, and if we don't learn, there's something wrong with us in a sense, and it's just something that we all have to figure out in these times and learn how to deal with it. Like with me, I met Jordan because of my son Joe. Because of my son Joe, he absolutely he looks up to you too. He was at the show too. I don't know if you got to talk to him, but he was up there. He was one of the security. We had team security at both Jose's that day,
Mm,
and he definitely looks up to you. And he said he wants to be in the ring with you one of these days, but he still has to perfect his. He still has to perfect himself, and so he doesn't want to do it as of yet. But but getting into the ring and not being cleared. So I took on myself to say, let me do something else in the industry, at least something else in my area where I could be at least for myself, be in the area, be in the industry because like you, like everybody else, we all grew up with it. And I remember, going back into the day, and especially in Puerto Rico, watching all these shows in Puerto Rico, even here, going back way back to the day, watching this Jake the Snakes, watching Andres, watching the Hogans, watching everybody. That love, that passion was instilled in me from the get go. And even though I can't really be in the ring, but I have to do something in the industry. You know what I mean? And one of these days, I guess I'll see myself in the ring. But until then, I'm still doing something.
Yeah,
And I
man.
mean,
There's no rush, man. Take your time.
and it's great in a sense. But where do you see yourself in a couple of years down the road?
I mean, I'm hoping to be signed. That's always the goal. That's always the main thing, whether it be AEW, Ring of Honor's AEW, or touring it up with Japan. I doubt I'm under WWE's radar. So um, even MLW. There's still a bunch of companies out there that I'm shooting for, but the bucket list is definitely Japan. But the goal is to be signed by one of the major companies. So it's just all working towards that, and I'm doing a few things to get there. Better stuff, more gym time, because as much as I embrace my me being 360, but I want to get better physically in the ring to where I can do even more stuff. And there's still a couple moves that you guys haven't seen yet that I can pull out. So that's going to be fun.
Have you tried
That
different types
definitely
of
will
gear?
be fun.
Have you stuck with this?
Say again?
Have you tried other types of gear for singlet? Like, have you
Um,
like mixed?
no. I mean, my first year, I had the Umaga look, the little short shorts to up to my kneecaps and boots, whatever. But that wasn't a look. It was me being 3 months in. I had to get something fast, whatever. If I was in better shape, if I didn't have a stomach or anything like that, my actual gear inspiration was the British Bulldog. But because I have a bigger frame, the single is more visibly appealing. And I got the inspiration from MVP. So and I just made it my own. I added the tights under it. I added a few things of my own. So um, it's all about different colors, different symbols. Like the bear was an accident. I was talking to my gear woman, and she goes, "I think you need something," and she just mocked up the bear face, and she mocked up the bear. But I was like, "Take off the body. Let me just keep the face." And ever since then, the bear face has been my calling card. Even when I was in AEW, Taz pointed it out right away. Oh, that's an awesome bear, and that right there told me, all right, I got something. And that was an accident that that came up with.
Yeah, Taz, I heard this commentary. There was some stuff that really made you think, but like other comments that he said, like, well, at least he's approving of some things, but he try to pull some fun on you on that match. I was like, this guy is crazy.
Oh yeah, I
But
mean Taz is the heel commentator, so I'm not gonna take offense to it. He's the heel commentator, and he's in the moment. Like I heard what he said, and it was funny as hell. I laughed to it. Even Ricky Starks. So but yeah, he's playing the role of the heel commentator. He can say whatever he wants. It doesn't bother me.
he can't really listen to what they say, and and especially as you said, Taz is the heel commentator, and there's things that he will say just that's part of his gimmick. But there's some things that you might not be able to like. I understand it might be hard not to hear that, especially coming from him, because he's such like well known in the industry in a sense, and he has pull in a sense, But I know you caught it. It was kind of funny though. Don't get me wrong, and you laughed at it, which is good. But it was just kind of out there. Sometimes it was just kind of out there in a sense.
No, yeah, and the comments like that can hurt you because some people don't realize that he is just playing a heel commentator, and if he saw something that caught his eye, he's just going to say it. Good or bad on my part. But again, I laugh to it. I'm sensitive when it comes to certain things, but he was doing his job. It's not that he had no ill will to it. However, people take it, that's another story. Because I heard a few comments here and there. But you just gotta roll with it. It just happens. Everything can't be perfect. And it's just doing better the next time.
Yeah, no, it's like you said, it must be tough trying to when you listen to all these comments. And but how do you deal with it? You just let it slide off of you, or what will you tell others how to deal with those certain comments?
You have to, in a way. If you take it personal, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Like, again, I'm very, I can be, self-aware. Like reading the comments because of what he said, or just reading the comments in general, they're not always going to be positive. And if you let it get to you, then it's going to eat you alive. And at first, when I read everything, people don't understand. People who are not wrestlers don't understand what's really going on. So they're going to have ignorant views on things, and that's fine. I mean, that's their opinion, and you can't change that. So you either don't read it and play it off like it's not happening, or you just gotta be able to have thick skin and let it go. Um, because if you stew about it, it's just gonna have you second guess every little thing you do, and um, you just don't have the time for that. If you see negative comments, especially from 95% of them are not wrestlers, um, you can't let it bother you. They're gonna say people are gonna say whatever. People live to be evil, thinking that their opinion is top notch, and if you let those opinions creep in, um, that's where why you're gonna question a lot of things. But then, why wrestle if that's the case? You can't please everybody, so just again, just take it in and let it go, or don't read the comments. Just you put a match out there and that's it. Just watch the match and that's it. If you get people go out their way to give you feedback, especially if it's positive, take that personally. Take that to consideration that people are watching you and taking time out to reach out to you in a positive way. But if you're just reading general comments, just let it go because you're gonna get that your whole career. Even the pros right now get it. They make one little mistake and they suck. So just let it go, and you'll be a lot happier.
Have you dealt with any type of like situations with fans where they try to get snotty with you, and how have you dealt with that?
No, not personally. Like I said, when the AW match, there's 1,000 comments there. It's however it goes. Me personally, no, I never had an incident with fans telling me that I suck, or I shouldn't be doing this, whatever the case may be. If anything, I get praised more than I think I should. Fans will go out their way to tell me how much they enjoyed my match, or that I should be signed for the things that I do, that they really love seeing me. And most times, like, in certain places, I'm a heel and I'm still getting these compliments, which is surreal. So, but no, I never had a negative face to face interaction with anybody yet.
Because I think I met you as you were a heel when I first met you at the other promotion. Am I
Hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
And how does it? What's the difference? I know we all could say the difference between heel and baby face, but at what point where do you feel yourself right now? Where like at what like if you find yourself a baby face, do you find yourself a heel?
Um, I've personally found myself as a babyface, but I enjoy it just slightly more when I'm a heel, because that allows me, when I'm a face, everything is out in the open. I try to do the whole good guy shtick on my way to the ring, in the ring, whatever. But when I'm a heel, especially at the other place, I get to talk crap with the fans, and I get to throw things in their face, and I get the reactions. And it was weird because I was getting a lot of negative reaction at the other place, but it was a lot of reaction, and it caught me off guard because I was when I first started, I was a heel, but they had me as a silent heel, so I couldn't say or do anything. So I wasn't sure how to interact with fans. So then when I went babyface, that's when my confidence came in, and I do the whole dancing and whatnot. But now in other places that I'm heel at now, um, I get to be more sarcastic. Like I had a valet in the other place, I would embarrass her every chance I get. The fans hated it. I can talk crap. I can be extremely sarcastic in the ring in front of them because that's what I do. Um, and I have fun with it. But I still incorporate who I am, whether I'm heel or face, to where once I get into the ring and I do the whole dancing and I do the rose petal shower, I get them. That's how I get all the fans everywhere I go. So they're going to boo me, but they're going to enjoy the show that I'm putting on.
So the heels
But
that
what
people
got
don't remember. So
Exactly.
what got you to use those rose petals though?
I'm always thinking different. I don't like that. I'm someone that doesn't want to repeat the past in terms of certain gimmicks have certain generic tendencies. So I'm playing a sexy character that, Val Venus, Rick Rude, whatever, all of them do the hip shake. And it pisses me off because that's what everybody's go-to sexy thing is to do the whole Rick Rude hip shake. I don't do that. I do a whole body shake. And with the rose petals, um before my matches, when I was a face, I would go out to the local florist, get some flowers to bring to the shows, whatever. It was at a new promotion where my flowers broke in travel. So I open up my bag and bam, they're all broken in half. So I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do? But there was a place, I think it was either Halloween Spirits or Walmart that was close by. So I went in there. They had these fake, extremely fake rose petals. I said, you know what, I could do something with that. And I figured, if I could make it about me, and I don't have to give out flowers to the women. I can just shower myself because if I'm being healed, I don't have to shower them with nothing. I'm going to shower myself. I'm the sexy one. So when I had the rose petals in my hands, I thought about what can I do. I'm not going to throw it in no one's face. That's not going to get a big reaction. So what do? I shower myself with the rose petals. If that doesn't scream sexiness, then I don't have the audience. And the first time I did it, I got a huge reaction, and I said, you know what, I got them. So that's been my thing ever since.
And when you walk out with them, like in our show, Donovan and Era, you walked out with Leah.
Yeah.
How did, it was just she loves walking out with you because I know it's not only been the first time that she's done it, she's done it a couple of the times, and she absolutely loves it. But she also likes the reaction that she gets, and outside of the ring, and when you tell her when you shush her away, sometimes you tell her to leave, and so that's that character, and that's that, and it's helping her to create her own character as well.
Mhm.
And
When
it's
it
like
comes Now, when it comes to Leah, I'm trying to get her to feel more comfortable because she's very shy. She's very withheld, and she's a little nervous at times. So I'm trying to get her to break out that shell. It's just a little hard because she's so reserved. That's why when I'll have her do the confetti shooter, or when I was embarrassing her, it was easy. She didn't have to do anything. I'll just do all the work, and she'll get the reaction. So I'm trying to get her to break out that shyness.
so she's not she hasn't been the only one that you worked with that being that young in a sense, having her walk out with you.
No, she's been the youngest one because usually I'll have like older women with me, and we'll do part the same thing, but it gets with older women in certain promotions, they get a little raunchy. So with Leah, um, meeting her and finding out that she wanted to work with me. But speaking to her, you can tell, wow, she's extremely shy. Like, and in this business, it's all about reactions and soaking in what's going on around. And if you're extremely shy, that's a lot. That's hard. So I know talking with her, I'm like, all right, what can I do to help her break out, but also take into sense her shyness. So with me coming up with the whole embarrassing her thing, it was quick reactions. And I would do it and she'll run back to her seat. But once she got more and more comfortable that she was comfortable being out there with me, and I'll get her involved. And but us not working as much lately, I know I have to get her back into the whole reaction thing and take it in. But if I can get her to, take in the moment and be in the moment, like right now, I don't know, I might have to give her a nickname or something. But right now, you are so and so. Right now, you with me, you're going to be a badass, one way or the other. So I'm still working with it. It's not 100%, but I'm gonna get Leah to break out and start having more fun. Don't be so nervous and just have fun. And when her brothers are around, she acts crazy anyway. I said, give me this energy. When you're with your family, you're nuts. Give me that.
Definitely, because when she's around my son, she's a little bit, she's out there too. But it's just, I guess it's different being in front of an audience. People tend to get a little bit of shocked, like it being like shocked in a sense, and being in front of an audience. Not everybody gets used to it,
Mm.
and it's kind of difficult,
When
especially
it
when you
clicks
try to
for
perform in front of an audience. Go
to
ahead.
come together for her when she breaks out of her shell because she definitely has it in her. She just needs it to come out and to figure it out. She gets better over
I,
time for sure.
I agree. I agree. I think more repetition is going to be easier, obviously. But um, when I get that look, because when I talk to her, you can tell she's still nervous. So that day where she says, "Cruz, I got this," then I know she's ready. So we'll see what happens.
Where did your name come from? How do you come up? How do you come up with your name though?
Um, my trainer. If you go on my YouTube page, I have a lot of. I wouldn't say backyard videos, but it's me wrestling at work. And one of my best friends is doing commentary. He always takes the videos, and he associated with me with Diesel at one point. So he kept saying instead of Big Daddy Cool, he kept saying Big Daddy Cruz. So when my trainer heard it, and it was multiple videos of Big Daddy Cruz, Big Daddy Cruz, Big Daddy Cruz. So it just clicked. He goes, "All right, you're new, so I know you don't know what you are. That's who you are, Big Daddy Cruz." So I said, "All right." Again, 3 months in, I don't know what I'm doing. So I took the name, but now with certain places, I'll either go Big Daddy Cruz or I go BD Cruz because certain places don't want to use the Big Daddy moniker, which I get. Um, so with me being BD, it's a lot more friendlier in most places. So, and I find it a little easier just to deal with anyway. I'd rather be BD Cruz than Big Daddy Cruz anyway.
What's your YouTube?
Big Daddy Cruz. It should be on it. Once you'll see my picture on it, and I got my indie matches, and I have my work wrestling videos, and we used to call it warehouse wrestling. So there's about I think 50 videos or so of me just doing different stuff with my coworkers, and this was before. This was when I first started. This was right before I started training, so you can see how it was before I started training.
What's your social media other than the YouTube? What else do you? What other platforms are you using?
Instagram is Big Daddy Cruz 00. Um, Same thing with Twitter, Big Daddy Cruz. You'll find me there. Um, and yes, Facebook, Twitch. Twitter and Instagram are my main social media accounts.
So on the BD Cruise, Big Daddy Cruise, that's where they
Yeah,
find you at.
yeah. Either or, one of them come out. I think Twitter is BD Cruz, but everything will be Big Daddy Cruz 00.
That's cool. That's cool. So I know we'll see you December 10th on our show, but that's before that. Do you have anything else going along, or is that the? You say you had something in November, right?
I have a few things in November. I'm just got to get the final words on it. But companies like SWO, trying to get into a place like Invictus, and just trying to. I'm going to Colorado in end of October, so a few things coming up. I'm gonna get the finalization of the dates, but I'm just looking forward to December 10th.
Yeah, because you'll be going against Sean Amari, huh?
Yeah,
You have had quite a history together, haven't you?
this is a weird one because we're actually friends. So to get into a fight with a friend, it's a little bit different. It's because the competition of each of us are there. Um, it's personal, and you're going to see a lot of personal things going on between here and there, and in the match, there's no holding back. Yeah, we're boys, and I'll take a bullet for you, but that doesn't mean I won't beat you. And I'm making sure that I'm walking away the world champ because he ain't stopping me.
Watch him. He's ready to meet in my eye right before he put me in the submission match in the
Oh,
tournament.
I saw that. I saw I saw that
Yeah,
crap. That wasn't fair, but he ain't doing that with
yeah,
me. I tell you what, I got you, baby.
yeah. I'm rooting for.
Whoever will be the Negro, you're gonna be the Negro. You say you're gonna be the Negro BC champion.
That's it. Nobody ain't stopping me. That belt's mine.
Jordan, you hear that, right? You heard that?
I hear it. But right now, I need him to hold that down.
You
When
got
it
it.
comes time, it'll be yes, sir.
What? Just say the word. You be next. Give you a title
Yes,
shot.
sir. I like a hard hitting match. So I'm cool
Oh,
with it.
you gonna get it.
Yes,
You getting it.
sir.
We'll see that sooner or later, right, Jordan? We'll see that.
Yep. Then we're gonna need
But you still have that number one contender after Sean O'Mari. There's still one more.
yep.
So what do you say about that one? The Nakoma is your number one contender.
Oh yeah, that's right. Um, nah, Nakoma. I'm ready. It's gonna be different. With her, cause it's gonna be a unique match, if anything. Cause me taking on a woman is not the first time, but um, I don't know. I might have to flirt with her a little bit, see how the match goes. But if she ain't biting, then I can't hold back on her neither. So might have to take her head off, if anything. I don't mean it. I'll do it with a kiss, but gotta go down.
Hey, that's if you win the championship, though. Who knows?
Oh, no doubt. Like I
We have
said,
to wait.
Sean ain't stopping me. I refuse to lose. It's not happening.
December 10th is what we crown. It's called Crowning Glory. That's what we crown our champion. And let's see that big fight. Because it does feel like that big fight. That environment, that big fight environment, especially where it's gonna be located at. At downtown Springfield, and it's gonna be a great show. Just let's see. This happens, and hopefully, who will celebrate whoever wins, you or Sean O'Mari.
Oh, no doubt. I plan on it to be. This is going to be. It's not just a match. It's going to be a fight, and I'm planning to pull out some stuff that you or the crowd hasn't seen yet. So I'm trying to make that night as special as I can, and if all else, the fans are going to be talking about that main event. If anything,
Definitely can't wait, especially where it's gonna be located at.
Mm.
You haven't still seen the place, but once you see it, my brother, you're gonna fall in love with it. It's a
Uh,
huge place. It's a really nice place that we're gonna be doing the show at, and it's right smack down in the middle of Springfield, downtown Springfield. So we're gonna make it look as big as we can. We're gonna go all out, hopefully, and you be in there. Let's bring in the ruckus and let's make it sound really loud, I guess.
oh, big time! If you have the SmackDown in Springfield, then I want everybody to come because packed house, and when it's live, I'm digging it the most.
We're taking this short.
I'm with it.
I appreciate your time, and it's been great having y'all. But we're about done. But like I said, December 10th, BD is gonna be in the area, downtown Springfield, kicking it live with BCW. Once again, applause for BD Cruz. Great having you, my friend, and just like Jordan, it's great having you too. And we'll continue this another day. But December 10th, as to the city stage in Springfield, it's where you'll see the main event of Crown and Glory, BD Cruz versus Sean O'Mari and the rest of the staff and the rest of the great matches that we'll be having that day. It was great having you, my friend, and hopefully to see you soon, sooner than December 10th. But I'll see you on the December 10th date. And let's ruckus, let's bring it out, and let's blow that roof off.
Sounds
See
good
you
to me.
soon.
I'll see you guys both there. Yeah, I got you, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, have a good night. Thank you.
All
Kicking it
right, Lou.
off with BCW Live. That was BD Cruz and our guest and interviewer Jay Royce. And like I stated before, December 10th, December 10th at City Stage at downtown Springfield. You'll have a good night, my friends.